started Women in the Studio 5 years ago to make a change in who we were seeing producing the songs that you listen to. Young women, non-binary and gender fluid artists don't know there's a career in production, and we need to change that. We need them to understand that there is a place for their voice in the studio.
So we had both read a study called the Annenberg Study. They had done some research and gathered data and found that only 2% of producers on the top 100 Billboard songs were females or female identifying. And we just thought, this is crazy. Like, that just seems way too low. Those numbers, that representation is terrible. Let's try to do something as part of our corporate governance to try to move the needle forward.
The Women in the Studio program has really impacted my career in a million different ways, from being signed to a writer-producer house that was initially facilitating a camp that Women in the Studio had set up for me, to placing me in sync camps. It's presented a lot of opportunities for me.
Well, I think it's just been valuable to find a community of, say, other female producers and other women in the industry, rather than trying to navigate the world of the music industry on my own through programs like this. It, allowed me to connect and shake hands a lot faster and a lot quicker for, my own stuff in the future.
It really does provide access to education, to mentorship, to technical expertise, to experience, from networking opportunities throughout Canadian Music Week, through Juno Fest, through North by Northeast, different events throughout the year. It's really over the years building a community of next level engineers and producers and artists and songwriters and creators who are hopefully, they're already starting to break out, but we're really seeing that support elevate everybody's careers. And I think that's ultimately the goal.
I think what's really cool about the program is that you're kind of brought into this whole network of people that are really invested in you developing in this craft. And that inherently just puts you in the room with people who are going to be on your team.
Doing one thing for me just didn't seem like it was enough. And I feel that multitasking is the barrier that has held me back the most, where I haven't been able to specialize in the things that I really wanted to, because women technically didn't specialize in these things. We have no idea what women can do because we haven't allowed them to show us yet. And I just feel like a program like this that unites us and believes in us and gives us these opportunities is really going to blow up the optics of what a woman can do in music.
There's no blueprint, for this industry, because it's zigging and zagging and it's never straightforward. But, if I can apply to this one thing, then that one thing may lead to 3 different opportunities, and then the tree grows. And I think for footholding and elevating career trajectory, it's, very important.
Some of the workshops that we're doing with the Women in the Studio are meeting with music supervisors so that they can have that direct relationship, meeting with lawyers, business managers, music publishers,
So we've had Dr. Susan Rogers, we've had Jenna Andrews, Linda Perry, very different people, somebody that's an artist that's also a producer. So you have just a varied group of women that have been able to come in here and sort of give people their knowledge, and that's been amazing.
Being a Black queer female, with invisible disability, it's sometimes very hard to express yourself. I need boundaries, and I don't feel like anybody, whether they're female or male or other, should be forced to change their boundaries. Cooperative spaces need to incorporate the consideration for people who face boundaries.
I have had many bouts of imposter syndrome, and it's been incredible during this program, learning very technical knowledge that's actually really simple. And through the technical knowledge that I've been able to gain in this program, I've actually learned that no, I definitely can understand, and you're making it more complex than it actually is. I would say this week's changed my life.
I used to be a touring artist who kind of did production at home, and I can't tour the same way. I have physical disabilities that don't allow me to. My mainstream of income is gone. And I didn't know if this is something that I could pivot to, be my main focus. And it's just been really, really cool to just have somebody say, yes, yes, you can do this. And there's a lot for you to learn, and we can help you to connect those dots.
During the pandemic, we really got to customize the program because so much of it was virtual. So now we've moved to a model where we can ask each producer, what do you need? And what type of mentorship do you want? And what skills are you lacking? So we really have this chance now to bring women from any part of the country into this community and this network, which I hope they'll stay a part of for the rest of their lives, but also just really home in on what their specific needs are and give them the support that they need.
I really want to be able to get more access to like sync placements and songwriting camps and be able to get into like composing for film and TV, just to really expand like my repertoire and like my expertise as a producer, but just didn't know the people and how to get involved with that. And this program's been really great for connecting us and getting us in all the right rooms for that. This is something I've never been able to do, just have a session with a bunch of women and just go in there and come out with something awesome. But I'm very happy to have experienced that for the first time.
It's about creating an environment that's more equitable and inclusive so that you really can get the best out of everybody. And I think there's a lot of talk about creating those spaces for creators to really do what they do best. I think it's really important that we also make sure that we focus on that as a whole to the entire community. So that is making sure that there are spaces for failure, spaces where you can learn from each other in a safe space, creating spaces where you feel safe and included.
Sitting in with the Dr. Amandine Pra, I learned so much from her, watching her discuss the techniques of mixing.
I think here I try to really bring the idea that people need to listen more and not be like trapped by the technology, like teaching the people who are listening and like gaining something out of my knowledge. I think it's just rewarding by itself. But I do it because there's a strong energy, and that's really rewarding for me.
It's equally as important to feel confident in the technical skills that you have as a producer, because it's a craft. It's a skill set. It's an area of expertise, and it doesn't come overnight.
I just feel what she showed us was extremely detailed and extremely specialized, and had finally enough time and space around it for me to really gain the knowledge. I also feel like I have a Rolodex of people I can call when I need help with certain technical abilities and connections for ideas that I have. I really feel uplifted and supported.
From beginning to now, there's definitely been a range of results. So we've had a range of skills, and it's really super necessary because at the end of the day, it's about return on investment. Are they going to be able to use these skills to make money and move forward in their career?
The mentorship that these producers get through this program really validates the work that they want to do and the love that they have for the song. But this program is not just about creative and technical skills. It's about business skills. It's about financial literacy. It's about learning how to set up your own studio. As we go forward into the next 5 years, we're really looking at helping a new group of producers each year, but also reaching back and helping our alum move to the next step in their career. We're building a community. You never get to leave, and you always get to be part of the growing group of producers who think about music in the way that you think about music. We need to thank all of our volunteers, all of our board members, all our music publishers, all our partners, all our sponsors who want to help us facilitate change.
I think if you're a woman or a gender nonconforming person who's looking to apply to this program, do it. This is an access point for that kind of industry knowledge and support and a community that you didn't even know was theirs. It's really incredible, and that's the one thing that I'll take away from the program is the community that it brought.
Programs like this are disrupting the industry and creating greater diversity in places that have been very, very resistant to it. And not for programs like this, there may not be people that get the education and context needed to push their career forward to then go on and create that disruption.